Welcome back to Rooted and Refined. Today I wanted to show you something unexpected that I found in my garden. I planted some peony tubers this spring, not too long ago. Most of them have come up, but a few have not. So I know you're not supposed to, but I wanted to check. I started digging around the tubers to see, do they still have eyes? What's going on? And for the most part, I was able to leave most of them alone. There's one, however, that I thought did I mark the wrong place? I couldn't find the tuber. I didn't give up. I kept digging. I felt confident that I had marked the right place. I marked them all as I planted them. And much to my surprise, I found one that had sunken considerably in the soil. So I wanted to show this one to you. It's right there, and it's hard to see how deep it is, but if I put my trowel down, do you see how many? That's got to be a good, 6 inches down. And when you look at this tuber, it does have eyes that are trying to come up. So with it being so far down, it wouldn't get enough light. So I've got to reset that. So we'll do that together. I'll get you set up and let you see the process. Okay, to fix this, I've got all the soil here, but I'll use some of it. I'm not convinced that it's not going to sink down again. These eyes of the peony need to be pointing upwards. So I can see this one's going this way, this one's going this way, and this tiny one here that's starting is pointing up this way. So I know I need to put the tuber in the way that it was in correctly. It just started to sink. It's possible that I didn't pack enough dirt down when I dug the hole for it. A number of things could have happened. That's probably still a little... You want those buds to be about an inch. And that's probably more right. So it looks a little funny right here. It looks like this is going to poke up out of the ground, but I'm comfortable with where that's going. It's just checking. It looks like there might be a little bit of rot on it. We're going to keep an eye on this one, but we'll fill in around. And you can see this is pretty level with the soil, but I'm okay with that because I think it is still going to sink a little bit. I'm going to put some new dirt around it just to make sure that I don't want to disturb too much of what's going on here. So we'll just put some new dirt around it. Back it down just a bit. And see, the whole thing is completely buried. So I'm not worried about how high up. I know it looked high up, but I've never seen one sink quite like that. So we're going to leave this one a little higher for now. So that's done. I'll water that in, but I want to meet you back at the patio. Let's talk about today's lesson. So what can we learn from a peony tuber that's sunk in soil? Everything can tie back to the garden. Today, we can tie it back by using that peony tube as a metaphor for when we feel like we've set our goals, we're at the right level, we know what we need to do to grow, we've got all of the right conditions. And then one day, we realize we might be growing. That peony tube did have new eyes on it, but it wasn't thriving, and it wouldn't have. It's also a lesson in patience. So I know I shouldn't go around digging bulbs or tubers up to see what's going on with them. But in this case, I'm glad I did because I can give that peony a chance now. Now that peony might have grown. If I had left it alone, it might have given me lots of beautiful leaves, but it might never have bloomed because it was so far down in that soil. Or maybe it would have taken years for it to reset itself, and maybe it would have. But it's still a great example of how we think that we have all of the conditions that we need to grow and thrive, and then the weight of the world starts to come down on us. All of the noise starts to get into our minds, and before we know it, we find ourselves at a lower level, and we're not really sure how to get out of that. Sometimes it takes somebody else reaching their hand out, giving us that helping hand to get us back where we need to be able to reset and thrive. For us, that reset can mean setting boundaries so the weight of the world doesn't pull us back down again. It's about being refined enough to know when you're off track and being rooted enough to handle the move. If you feel like you've sunk lately, don't be afraid of the reset. Dig deep, find your level, and give yourself permission to start again. For now, stay rooted, stay refined, and I'll see you soon.